this is Danielle, and today we're going to be talking about the rules for English grammar, and the topic is a friend of mine, my own, house, on my own, and by myself. So as you can see in our mind map, we have three different things to talk about. We have own, a friend of, and on my own or by myself. So let's first talk about a friend of. So we can say a couple of things when using a friend of. A friend of mine, yours, or ours, and a friend of Tom, my sister's. So, in using a friend of mine, yours, or ours, here are some examples that we can look at. So we use a friend of to come before. I'm going to a wedding on Saturday. A friend of mine is getting married. It was a good idea of yours to go swimming this afternoon. And finally, we went on holiday with some friends of ours. Okay, so those were using a friend of mine, yours, and ours. Let's look at a friend of Tom and my sister's. It was a good idea of Mary's to go shopping. And that woman over there is a friend of my sister's. So as you can see here, you can use of my sister's after a friend. Okay, so that was using a friend of, and now let's go to own. So we have a couple of different options here. My own or your own. Use own to say that you do something yourself instead of somebody else. So for example, my own, your own. We use this to say something that is only mine or yours, not shared or borrowed. For example, I don't want to share a room with anybody. I want my own room. And you can eat with your own spoon. So both of these are talking about something that is only mine or yours, not shared or borrowed. Now we use own to say that you do something yourself instead of somebody else. So let's see some examples. Brian usually cuts his own hair, and I'd like to have a garden so that I could grow my own vegetables. So we're using own to say that you do something instead of somebody else. Next, let's move to on my own or by myself. These are words that mean alone. So, for example, I like baking cakes on my own or by myself. Both of them work. And I wash dishes on my own or by myself. So both of these are talking about people being alone. On my own, by myself. Okay, so here is your completed mind map for a friend of mine, my own house, on my own, by myself. You can come back to this for your reference at any time. Now let's click here to find the outline of a friend of mine, my own house, on my own, and by myself. So here's the outline you can read through for more information and more examples of sentences. Once you're done reading through the outline, you can click here and take the test to test your knowledge on these concepts. So in the next video, we're going to take the test together. So thanks for joining me in this video where we learned about the grammar rules for a friend of mine, my own house, on my own, and by myself. I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.